Good morning. Look where I am. I'm back in the car. I'm back in the 2021 Nissan Armada. Believe it or not, this is just the back seat. I'm not even in the third row, which is back there. Last time I did the recording from the car, I was in the third row. This time I'm in the back seat. Look how spacious this thing is, right? You look how much distance there is. My uncle was in this car. Was it yesterday? Either yesterday or the day before, and he was saying that it probably isn't as big as it feels, but it feels really spacious. That however they did that, they made it feel spacious. Yeah, it feels very spacious. Like I said before, it feels like an apartment. Anyway, welcome to the show. This is Thursday. This is Thursday, the 17th of March, but this is a do-over episode. This is a do-over episode because yesterday, I don't know about you, but I couldn't see the show. I mean, I could see the show, but it kept skipping. I couldn't hear a complete sentence. So I'm not sure. I didn't get any comments. So I'm not sure how it was for you, but I'm just going to assume that it was the same for you that it was for me. I was trying a new program yesterday to record the show. It seemed like it was working, but then when it went live, it did not work so well. We've been plagued by technical issues this week, me and Rev Melissa. So anyway, trying something familiar today. The only thing different is I'm back in the car, but we've done this before. That shouldn't be a problem. All right. So once again, shout out to Nissan for loaning me this massive 2021 Nissan Armada, which is their biggest SUV. They say it seats 8. And even as big as it is, I'd still say 5 to 6. But still, that's a big vehicle. Anyway, shout out to Nissan. And shout out to you for being here and watching the show. This is the Be Your Own Hero show. HERO is an acronym. It means helping everyone reaps optimism. In other words, helping others helps you. It's a reciprocal action. I'm your host. I'm Sekou Wrights. I'm a professional creative and the creator of what we're now calling the Hero Ministry Movement. And that's my effort to uplift and inspire people in general and specifically the unhoused community through wearable affirmations like this hoodie and like this hat and other items of clothing that you can find in the Hero store on my website, which is SekouWrights.com. I haven't said this in a while, so in case you've forgotten or in case you're new to the show, the Hero clothing provides brand new clothing items for the unhoused community. Each of the items triggers a bonus item. In other words, if you buy a hoodie for yourself, then that triggers an automatic bonus item that I donate to the unhoused community. An automatic extra hoodie, extra hat, extra sweatshirt, extra socks, etc. So that's been going really well. I'm excited about the work that we've done there. And just this past weekend, I was in Louisville, Kentucky, physically to support an event by the Zetas in Louisville, their Zeta Award show, and I helped out by donating 100% of the proceeds sold that day to their event. So excited to be doing that work and excited to be continuing to do the work of Hero Hoodies and getting these wearable affirmations out to the unhoused community. Okay, so that was an unexpected sidebar, but I haven't explained what Hero Hoodies is in a while, so that's what that is. Shout out to New Thought Media Network for allowing me this platform to talk about my journey of becoming my own hero, and recently my journey of becoming my own financial hero. You can catch me here Monday through Friday, 9:45 a.m. Eastern Time, 8:45 a.m. Central, and 7:45 a.m. Mountain. All right. If this show provides any value, please like, please comment, mostly please share, and please consider making a donation. Quick disclaimer, I am not a personal trainer, nor am I a financial advisor, so take my advice with a grain of salt. Do your own due diligence. All right, let's get into the show. So as you know, if you've been watching the show, season 3, that's where we are. Season 3 is all about doing, and so the idea is to take action, to consider what I'm talking about and take action. Also, look, I got the little cup holder here. I feel very comfortable. Anyway. All right, so Hero Ministry Movement news. Hero Ministry Movement news. So today is technically day 290 of my run streak. 290. I got a message from Rev Melissa yesterday. She was saying, is today 290? No, yesterday was 289. Today's 290. But I love that people have some reference, some awareness of where I am in terms of my streak. So today is technically 290. I say technically because I haven't run yet. I'm trying to get this show in the can before I go running. But I'm dressed. I got my brand new Saucony sneakers on right now. I'm ready to hit the streets as soon as I finish recording because I've got some Zooms later on that I need to focus on. So 290. Yesterday was 289. There is a run report up for 289. I don't think I'm going to play it today. The run report for 288 only posted on TikTok for some reason. So if you thought I skipped a day, I didn't. I'm still 100% every single day, but the run report only posted on TikTok. Again, the technical difficulties have been kind of weird this week. Anyway, I think we're going to skip yesterday's run report, but it is up. Day 289 is up. So check that out. Okay, moving on. I mentioned Louisville and the Zetas already, and I showed a picture earlier in the. Did I do that yesterday? Oh, there is something that. Oh, do I still have it queued up? Yes. All right, here we go. So this is a picture of me in Louisville, Kentucky at the Zeta Award show, which was very cool. I'm actually in a booth over there on the side. That's the Hero hoodie booth. And they gave me a shout out. They said, hey, go see Mr. Hero because he's giving 100% of the proceeds back to this event. So that was pretty cool. All right. And I wanted to show you this. This I've shown before. This is me and Isabel Gonzalez. I said Elizabeth, sorry. Isabel Gonzalez. I've been emailing with Elizabeth separately all morning, so that's why I transposed the names. But Isabel Gonzalez and I went to high school together, and we were best dressed. And that's the photo that you see over here on this side. And then we met up for coffee the other day, and that's the photo that you see over on this side. We recreated this photo from our best dressed photo shoot. This is actually not the final photo that went in the yearbook, but this is a different photo from that photo shoot. Anyway, this is what I wanted to say. I said this yesterday, but again, the video was all garbled, so I'm going to say it again. Both of these vehicles are Nissan vehicles. What? Like, who could have predicted that? Who could have planned that? Certainly not I. Even when we took this photo a couple of days ago, I didn't realize it. It wasn't until I found the original photo in the yearbook that I was like, wait a minute. That's a Nissan Maxima. And this is a Nissan Armada. So separated by many years, Isabel and I have recreated this photo almost to the letter by also having a Nissan vehicle in the shot. I mean, that tickles me to no end. So all three of the elements in those photos are the same. Me, Isabel, and Nissan. Pretty cool. All right. So just wanted to share that quick little story. Okay. I don't have my dice. I don't have my dice with me. So envelope challenge. We're just going to say 3. The number is 3. Transfer $3 from your checkings account over to your savings account. Again, we are creating a little bucket of money that we can use to invest because the biggest excuse people give for not investing is that they don't have enough money to invest. So very small amounts of money, we're moving those very small amounts of money over into another account that we can use to invest. So today's number, $3. Move that money, save it up, invest it. Okay, so morning Zen. All right, this was my chat yesterday, and I'm just gonna again just this is a redo of yesterday. I hope you haven't heard the story before, but yesterday I talked about this man that I discovered on YouTube. I watched a show where the woman goes and interviews inspirational people, and so one of the people she interviewed was this guy who was unhoused. And again, I feel like the universe is feeding me more and more information about the unhoused community because I've gotten interested in that community. But this man was unhoused and lived in his car for 2.5 years. And now he's a multimillionaire. You heard me. He went from living in his car for 2.5 years to becoming a multi-millionaire. Multi-millionaire. How, pray tell, did he do that? And the answer is essentially mindset. That's the answer. Essentially mindset. He changed what he thought he deserved. He changed what he thought he could have. It starts inside. So I just want to talk about him a little bit. He often gets asked about the money. And he says that I try not to answer people when they ask me about the money, because people are just asking me, like, how do I get the money? How do I get the millions of dollars? How do I get the millions of dollars? He's like, that's not the way to approach it. The way to approach it, and now this, mind you, he's speaking from experience, not theory. He's speaking from experience. He said the way to approach it is to change what's within you, change your mindset, change your thoughts, change your habits, change the way you move in the world, and resonate abundance. And when you do that, you change your vibration, and then you attract the things out here in the world that represent abundance. Now, we've heard this before, but it's great to have somebody talk about it who's a little more accessible, who's able to transform his life in such a short period of time by doing this. So the story he tells is that he was putting gas in his car / home one day, and an unhoused man came up to him and asked him for a couple dollars. And he said to the unhoused man something, very snarky. He said, "You have more money than I do." And the unhoused man said, "Change your mind, change your life." And the guy said he couldn't stop thinking about it. He couldn't stop thinking about this idea that he could change his life just by changing his mind. And so he did the work. He committed himself to doing the work in all the different ways. He did the opposite of what he was used to doing in so many different categories. And that's too much to talk about here, but he did the opposite of what he was used to doing. And then the opportunities came to him. He didn't seek the opportunities. They just fell into his lap. And he's gotten to the point now where he charges $10,000 per hour for his consulting. Now, that's a big number. And that seems to most of us unfathomable, right? It seems impossible. But remember where he came from. Remember, he came from living in his car. And the opportunities presented themselves. So it's really about, can you expand your mind enough to believe that you watching the show right now are capable of earning $10,000 per hour as a consultant, right? And if you can't, that's the stopgap right there. If you feel tension about claiming that for yourself, if you feel like that's an impossibility, if you feel like, oh, that's how the other half lives, then that is the stopgap within you, the limitation within you that you've got to get, that you've got to push past. And I'm raising my hand. Like it took me some time, and it's still taking me some time to lead into the abundance mindset. And it's a daily effort. It's a daily effort to lead into the abundance mindset daily, because your habits, whatever your habits are that developed around money and lack and limitation, are ingrained. And so it takes a lot of effort to push past those mental habits, those thought habits, those thoughts that creep up that are comfortable with lack and comfortable with limitation. You've got to push past those all the time. You deserve to be rich. I'm quoting The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles, which was written in 1910, which I created a whole podcast about, called Get Rich 101. Chapter 1, paragraph 1. You have the right to be rich. Not just comfortable, not just okay, but rich. But you've got to develop your mindset to own that idea. And once you can do that, then the riches will come to find you. All right. And that actually reminds me of something I said earlier this week when I read from The Science of Getting Rich about, it doesn't matter what you do. We spend so much time trying to figure out the right opportunity. Like, oh, if I get into that, if I own that kind of franchise, if I engage in this type of career, I'll get money. But it's not about that. It's about the mindset, and then you can have abundance in whichever career you want. It's all about the mindset. Anyway, so that's kind of long-winded, but I wanted to talk about this guy and his dramatic transformation from homeless and living in his car to multi-millionaire, and how he was able to do it. So I'm going to check out his book, and I'll circle back about that and let you know if I recommend it. But his life story certainly is one that we should emulate. You can go from wherever you are to wherever you want to be, but you've got to believe. All right, moving on. So a little bit of TikTok wisdom. This comes to us from David Meltzer. No, this is Gary Vaynerchuk. And he says, give, ask. Give, ask. He says that most people on social media are all about asking. Hey, watch my show, buy my video, join me, give me your email address. They're all about asking and not giving. And he suggests doing the opposite. So for those of us engaged in social media, give, ask. Give as much value, give as much, what's a more tangible word than value? Give as much wisdom. Give as many gifts as possible. And then ask at some point down the road for them to help you out with something. But give your followers as much as you can. Okay, so moving on to, I keep getting tangled up in my cable. All right, so moving on to abundance today. Let's do our affirmation and with a twist. So here's the affirmation. Let me pull it up on screen so we can all say it together. Here we go. I am so happy and grateful to be a multimillionaire in every area of my life. Now, I said we're going to do it twice. Here's the thing. The first time was a recitation. We're just reciting the words. We're remembering the words. We're getting them embedded in our subconscious, right? The second time is an incantation. I got this from Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins and many other people say that affirmations don't work unless they become incantations, unless they get infused with emotion. That's the secret ingredient. If you've been doing affirmations for a long time and wondering why they're not working, it's because you haven't infused emotion. This was a big deal to me because I grew up with affirmations, and I haven't heard that bit of knowledge about adding emotion until recently. But now that I've heard it from everywhere. I've heard it from everywhere. Even in that pamphlet, it works. We've talked about that. I've talked about it, and Reverend Melissa's talked about it. Having reread it recently, I see now that it says you have to feel the emotion. That's the secret ingredient, adding the emotion. Get your subconscious to feel it, because basically the subconscious doesn't react to anything that isn't emotionalized. So you got to emotionalize these words. So anyway, all that said, round two. I am so happy and grateful to be a multi-millionaire in every area of my life. Right? You got to feel it. You got to feel it. Push it down into your subconscious mind. And once your subconscious feels it, it will start manifesting that reality without you even trying to do so. It'll happen automatically. So just a reminder, I've talked about this before, but just a reminder, when we do that affirmation, we're going to do it twice. The first is just to memorize the words, and the second time is to emotionalize it. Or if you want extra credit, emotionalize it twice, but get it in your system, get it in your bones. Okay, and then there's my other reminder. If you only spend, you'll stay poor. If you only save, you'll stay middle class. In order to become wealthy, you must invest. It's not optional. Got to do it. All right, so we're at the abundance portion of the show. There's 3 quick things I want to talk about. See if I can get this done. Okay, so in terms of the stock market right now, things are still quote unquote on sale, which is to say that that many of the stocks which have historically done very well are trading at less than what they typically trade for. So if you believe in those stocks, and that's the important part, if you believe that these stocks are around for the long haul, then now could be a time for you to acquire a full individual share of those stocks. If you're not sure, now is a fantastic time to acquire a full share of one of the index funds, like the S&P 500, because those are on sale too, quote unquote. So if you're just joining us, what I mean is that, well, I guess I said it, but just to restate it, the market is fluctuating, right? And therefore, the market's down. Therefore, assets are down, positions are down, and a lot of people are panicking because their assets are down, their positions are down, and they're selling, and they're getting out of the market. And what we've learned over the course of season 2 and season 3 of this show is that smart money stays in. Smart money doubles down. Smart money sees the market as being on sale, but only for known positions, not for, you know, your friend that whose company just went public and you kind of know something about, like, not that, for like the FANG stocks. And once again, FANG is an acronym for Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google. Those are the FANG stocks. Technically, they're the MANG stocks because Facebook changed their name to Meta. But still, the point remains, these are the 5 growth stocks that have done historically well in recent history. And maybe the 5 growth stocks that 5 growth and tech stocks that have done extremely well. I mean, this is not me making this up. I've seen people reference the FANG stocks on CNBC. So there's those, but all 5 of those are also represented within the S&P 500. So you could also just double down on the S&P 500 while it's on sale, get a share or two while it's on sale, and then you get exposure to 500 different companies that are huge. So that's the first of the 3 things that I want to mention, that the stock market is still on sale if you're able to look at it that way. Just be mindful of what you're investing in. So that's number 1. Number 2, the how-to guide. I want to circle back to that. I'm not sure where you guys are, but I know a few of us are doing this work of creating a how-to guide. So for those of you who haven't taken the leap yet, what you want to do is assess your skill set by asking yourself, what have I done? And or what do I do? What's my vocation? What are the things that I know? And then you can create a list of things that you already know about. We all have them. There's no one that's going to be like, oh, no, there's nothing I know. No, we have all accumulated knowledge over our lives. So you make that list, you choose one of those things. I've been suggesting that you choose 3 and then focus on 1. And then aggregate what the information that you already have about that topic from your laptop, from your computer, from your text messages, from anywhere around you. Aggregate that information into a single document without concern for sentence structure, whether or not there's any flow. Just copy, paste. So aggregate all that into a document. And the next step I'm suggesting is, after you've done all that, to go back and read the document and create an outline of sorts. Just a very basic bullet point outline of the order in which you want to arrange this information that you've just dumped into this document. So basically, the step after you aggregate it and put it into a document is to read it. Just read it as is, and you will be shocked at how much information you have on this topic, because you know this topic. It's been around you for probably years. So anyway, there are at least 5 of us that I know of that are working on the how-to guide. Comment in the chat. Let me know where you are in your process. I want to try to keep us moving along together. And I shared with you my first line item for my how-to guide, which is how to get into the stock market. And the first one is play with house money. You can play with house money by using links for Webull and Robinhood that give you free stock so you can play with house money, especially if you're interested in trading, you want to play with house money. Okay, and the third thing I want to get to, I think I still got time, is I wanted to circle back to someone that asked me about investing their deposit. They moved out of an apartment to move into a deposit. Move out of an apartment to move into a new apartment, and the deposit for the old apartment is coming, and they're considering investing as opposed to just putting it in their checking account as usual. First of all, bravo. That's what I'm talking about in terms of mindset, because I'm sure that's not something that you thought about before in terms of, life and moving. And that's the whole thing. The things that happen out here in the world will not change, but how we react to them does if we shift our mindset. Like the whole idea of thinking of the stock market as being on sale now, that's a shift in mindset. So shifting your mindset around getting your deposit back, I applaud that. And I suggested 2 people and their percentages yesterday. Number one, Shaq. Shaq suggests, and he got this idea from someone else, I'm not sure who, but Shaq suggests saving 25% and investing 75%. So we can apply this to an unexpected lump sum like a deposit. Take 25%, drop that in your checkings account, but take 75% and invest it. Now, where to invest the 75%, right? How to invest the 75%. That's where the second percentage comes into play. Warren Buffett suggests 90% in index funds and 10% in bonds. 90% in index funds, 10% in bonds. So the index fund that we've just been talking about today and throughout the show is the S&P 500. It's the one that I know the most about. Vanguard has a version of it that they call VOO. Well, the ticker symbol is VOO. So you've got 2, SPY ticker symbol, that's the S&P 500, and VOO ticker symbol, which is Vanguard's version of the S&P 500. So if you don't do anything else, you could simply buy those 2 index funds. 90% of your 75% could go to those 2 index funds, and then 10% could go to bonds. I'm still experimenting with bonds. I acquired one recently. I'm trying to see how it's doing. I definitely would not even have thought about bonds if Warren Buffett hadn't suggested it. But once again, Warren Buffett's net worth is $114 billion with a B. And so if he's willing to trust the index funds and bonds to his massive wealth, then I feel like we can too. So just to summarize what I'm saying here, if you get a lump sum of money, it doesn't have to be a deposit for an apartment. It could be any lump sum of money. We can follow the people who've gone before us. We can divvy it up at first into 75 and 25. We put 25 in our account, put 75 away into investment. Set 75 aside to invest. That 75% can be broken up into 90% and 10%. 90% towards index funds and 10% towards bonds, or 90% towards index funds and 10% towards something else like, maybe the FANG stocks, buying individual portion of the FANG stocks. And on a platform like Cash App or Robinhood, you can basically put them on layaway. You can pay a little bit on each of the 5 FANG stocks, a little bit at a time, until you eventually acquire a full share of those FANG stocks. Okay, so that's my suggestion for a lump sum of money. I am attempting to actualize this myself. For me, the 75% and then the 90-10%. 75%, 90-10. 75%, 90-10. So that is my current plan to move money around for my future self. All right, so I'm out of time. I'm a little bit over time, actually, but I wanted to get those 3 things in. I hope this was helpful. I hope this version of the show does not skip around. Fingers crossed, knock on mahogany, because there's mahogany in this vehicle. And thanks for being here. Keep doing, be a hero, be your own hero. Remember that now is better than perfect at all times, but especially in terms of investing. And I'll see you mañana. Later.